Here's something I've noticed after 16 years of being a cosmetic dentist. You've probably seen those smile transformations online, the ones where someone goes from hiding their teeth in every photo to having this confident and natural looking smile. And you're probably wondering why some of them look absolutely perfect, but for others, you can tell something's off. The truth is, there's a couple of secrets that not a lot of dentists will tell you. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about them. But first, let me tell you about something that happens way too often. Someone sits down in my chair, pulls out their phone, and shows me a picture of a celebrity smile. And then they ask me to make their smile look like that particular person's. Now I get it, I really do. These are gorgeous smiles, professional, camera ready. They look amazing in photos and on screen. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. Smiles don't exist in a vacuum. You see, when I look at that celebrity smile, I'm not just seeing the teeth. I see their face shape, their lip structure, their skin tone, their facial proportions. That's because all of these things work together to make their smile look right on them. Think about it like this. You wouldn't walk into a tailor with a picture of someone else wearing a suit and say, "Make me look exactly like this," right? Because even if you copied every measurement from that suit, it might not fit your body the same way. You might have broader shoulders, a different torso length, different proportions. The tailor's job isn't to copy someone else's suit, it's to create something that fits you. And that's the first secret. A great cosmetic dentist isn't trying to copy anyone else's smile. They're designing something specifically for your face. That means taking photos and videos to analyze your proportions, looking at your face shape. Is it round, oval, square? Considering your skin tone. What shade of white actually looks natural against it? Because a smile that looks incredible on someone with a square jaw and fuller lips might look completely wrong on someone with a heart-shaped face and thin lips. So if a dentist shows you a catalog of smile options, like you're picking out tile designs for your bathroom, it's probably a red flag. The goal isn't to give you a template smile. It's to enhance what you already have, to create something that looks like the best version of your smile, not somebody else's. But sometimes I think this is just a lack of direction or a clear idea about what the procedure entails, which is why I always talk to my patients first before we do anything drastic. So if you're in the area, click the link below the video to book a consultation. But did you know that there's a moment in the process that people didn't know existed? I think one of the biggest fears people have about cosmetic dentistry is this: what if I don't like it? What if I go through this whole process, spending all this money, and then I look in the mirror and feel regret? It's a terrifying thought, I know. And honestly, it should be. Because once veneers are bonded on, you can't just take them off. You can't just take them back to the store and return them. But let me settle these fears once and for all. Because here's what a lot of people don't realize about how the process works. Well, at least when it's done right. There's a stage in the middle where we create what's called a mock-up. And while that surprises a lot of folks, they're even more surprised to know that it's not just a digital rendering of veneers on your face. We can use temporary material and actually place it on your teeth to show you what the final result is probably gonna look like. Sometimes we call this a trial smile. You can look at it, you can smile with it, you can talk with it, we photograph it, and we talk about it. But most importantly, you can see how it feels in your mouth. And that's the second secret. You never have to commit to the final result without seeing it first. If something feels off, the shape doesn't look right, they seem too big or too small, if the proportions aren't working, we can make adjustments right then and there. We can change the length, we can adjust the width, we can modify the contours. This is the time to speak up, to be honest about what you're seeing and feeling. Because here's the thing. I don't like surprises, especially when it comes to something as permanent as veneers. When you come in for your final bonding appointment, you should already know exactly what you're getting. You should have already seen it, adjusted to it, approved it. That mock-up process is what gives people confidence. I want to tell you a story that really changed how I think about cosmetic dentistry. A few years ago, I was having dinner with a periodontist friend of mine, and we were talking shop, you know, the way people in the same industry do. And he asked me a question that stuck with me. How many cases that walk into your practice have multidisciplinary needs? In dentistry, when we say multidisciplinary, we mean different specialties of dentistry: periodontics, orthodontics, endodontics, oral surgery, all of that. So multidisciplinary needs means that a patient requires or would benefit from the care of more than one dental specialty. In other words, complicated. So he was basically asking me, how often do you see someone who needs more than just veneers? And I thought about it for a second, and my answer surprised even me. I said, I don't know, close to 100%. And both of us were like, well, yeah. Because here's the thing, most patients with cosmetic and functional concerns have multiple things wrong with their teeth. And it's my job as the dentist restoring the case to determine who needs to be part of the team to get the patient the results they need. Some cases, where the teeth need very minor movement, can be corrected with veneers, especially if that's what we're doing ultimately. Sometimes we can just start and end there. But if the teeth require major movements, we need to incorporate orthodontic treatment to get the result that's predictable, stable, and aesthetically pleasing. Here's an example of that with my patient here. Like most adults, he didn't want to do orthodontic treatment, but it was physically impossible to treat his case without moving some teeth around first. And so we put him in conventional braces for almost 2 years. Once the teeth were in the right place, I was able to treat the case very conservatively with only 4 veneers. The patient was very happy with the result. He looks better, functions better, even breathes better. And while 2 years sounds like a long time, it was all worth it because the treatment was truly life-changing. And that brings me to the third secret. The foundation matters just as much as the veneers themselves. Gum alignment matters. Tooth positioning matters. The health of the underlying structures matters. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes, you need other work done first. Maybe it's orthodontics to move the teeth into the right position. Maybe it's gum recontouring to create a more even gum line. Maybe it's addressing underlying decay or bone loss. Because here's what I've learned. You can put beautiful veneers on a poor foundation and they're still gonna look wrong. They might look fake. They might not function properly. They might not last as long as they should. But when you take the time to get the foundation right first, that's when you get the results that look natural, function well, and stand the test of time. So if a dentist tells you that you need some preliminary work done before veneers, don't see it as them trying to upsell you. See it as them being honest about what it's going to take to get the result that you actually want. And if you're wondering whether your smile might need some foundation work before veneers, or if you're just curious about where you stand right now, I've created a quick smile confidence quiz. It takes about 60 seconds to complete, and it'll give you a clearer picture of what your smile might need. The link is below if you want to check it out. But let's get into something that most patients never even think about. When you get veneers, you probably think the dentist does everything, right? They design them, they make them, they place them, but that's usually not how it works. See, there's another person involved in this process. Someone you'll probably never meet, but they play a massive role in how your veneers turn out. It's the lab technician. Think of it this way. The dentist is like the architect, and the lab technician is like the master craftsman who actually builds what the architect designed. But here's what's interesting about this. Not all labs are created equal. Some labs crank out veneers like they're on an assembly line. Same shape, same texture, same translucency for everyone. It's efficient, it's fast, and it's generic. But the really good labs treat every case like it's a custom project. And that's the fourth secret. The best results come from a true partnership between the dentist and the lab. The dentist sends detailed photos, notes about what they're trying to achieve, information about your face shape and coloring, guidance on texture and translucency. And then the lab technician, the really skilled ones, they handcraft something that matches all of those expectations. This is why 2 people can get veneers at the same price point and have completely different results. It's not just about the dentist's skill, it's about whether that dentist is working with a lab that understands craftsmanship, that sees each case as unique rather than just another order to fill. So when you're choosing a cosmetic dentist, it's worth asking, which lab do you work with? How do you communicate with them? Can I see examples of their work? Because that partnership, that collaboration between the dentist and the technician, that's what creates results that look truly natural. Sometimes people think that the decision to move forward with veneers happens at one big dramatic moment. But really, it happens in small realizations. Tiny moments where something finally makes sense, where you feel seen, understood, and genuinely excited about what's possible for you. And if you've been watching this and thinking, okay, this actually feels clearer now, that's usually a good sign that you're getting close to that moment. Not necessarily ready to commit, just ready to understand what the next step might look like. Maybe you're ready for a conversation with me here in San Antonio. You can click the link below this video to book a consultation. Because here's the thing, if you've been researching veneers for a while now, there's probably one question that keeps coming up. Am I actually ready for this? And honestly, most people aren't ready the first time they start looking into it. You'd be surprised to know that it truly takes some people years before they're fully ready for that. It's usually a journey. So if you want to know where you are, I break down the 4 signs that you're probably ready for veneers in this next video.